Dear students, in this video lecture, I am going to start new chapter of power electronics, that is inverters. Inverter is one of the most important topic of power electronics. So first we will see the syllabus of inverters, then we will see the weightage of inverters in GATE examination, and then we will discuss the industrial applications of inverters. Industrial applications of inverters. The first thing is, why do you use inverter? What is the meaning of inverter? Inverter is a device that converts fixed DC voltage to variable AC voltage. That means it is converting fixed DC to variable AC. Clear? You are using inverters at your home. Why? Because if there is power cut, then there must be some backup of the supply. Now whether inverter provides backup of the supply? No. When you go to purchase inverter, you purchase two things. One is inverter, another one is battery. What is the role of battery? When power is coming, when AC supply is coming to your home, what happens? That battery is connected to the AC supply and it is being charged. Now what kind of supply it stores? Battery stores DC voltage, but you are having the load that will be operated by AC voltage. So now to convert DC into AC, you need an inverter. To convert DC into AC, you need an inverter. That's why you are going to purchase two things. One is battery, another one is inverter. Clear? So here in the syllabus of inverters, first we will discuss introduction, then single phase inverters, three phase inverters, and again there is two category of inverters, that is voltage source inverter, second one is current source inverter. So first we will see these two inverters, that means voltage source inverters, then we will see current source inverters, then there is the control techniques of inverters, that means how will you vary the output voltage. For that we will have first discuss voltage control of inverters, then we will discuss pulse width modulation, and at last we will discuss introduction to multi-level inverters. Clear? Now you can always expect 2 to 3 marks of questions from this topic inverter in GATE examination, and mainly the questions will be asked from these two portions. Again, pulse width modulation technique is also very important. So what are the industrial applications of inverters? So what inverter is doing? Inverter is providing you DC, fixed DC to variable AC. Clear? Variable AC. Now if you are having variable speed drives, then you need inverters. In the case of induction heating, in the case of UPS for computers, inverters are used. And HVDC transmission, in the case of HVDC transmission, what happens? You are having AC supply, you are converting it to DC, high voltage DC. Again at last, what do? You have to convert DC into AC. So in HVDC transmission system, inverters are used. So in today's lecture we will discuss these two topics, that means introduction and single phase inverters. Introduction and single phase inverters will complete today. आप इस लेक्चर में बने रहिए लास्ट तक, आपको काफी इंटरेस्ट आएगा. एंड इवन इफ दोज हु डिडंट अटेंड द लेक्चर ऑफ रेक्टिफायर्स और लेक्चर ऑफ थायरिस्टर्स or lecture of cyclo converters or choppers, so they can also understand inverters. This topic is very easy and I'll try to explain in very simple way. Very easy topic. अब आप लोग कहोगे कि सर आप तो सारे टॉपिक को ही इजी कहते हैं, लेकिन इजी तो रहता नहीं है, क्योंकि जब आप नोट्स बनाते हो और नोट्स बनाकर व्हाट हैपेंस व्हेन आई एम टीचिंग, यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग ए नोट्स. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस, what happens after preparation of note, after completion of my lecture, you people don't revise it. So if you do not revise it, so you will definitely forget this, and then it will be, the topic will be difficult for you. So what do you mean by inverter? Inverter is converting fixed DC to variable AC. Variable AC. Clear? Fixed DC to variable AC. Clear? So now there are two types of inverters. Inverters are of two types. Clear? First one is called voltage source inverter. First one is called voltage source inverter. Second one is called current source inverter. Second one is called current source inverter. In the short form you can write VSI, and here you can write CSI. Here you can write CSI. Clear? Now what is the meaning of voltage source inverter? In the case of voltage source inverter, see, at the input side of inverter, you are providing DC. At the input side of inverter you are providing DC. So they are saying that here source voltage DC, source voltage, DC source voltage contains a small or negligible impedance. Clear? If you are providing a DC, and if this DC source has some small or very negligible inductance, then the inverter will be voltage source inverter. Here you can write DC source has large impedance. DC source has large impedance. So now what happens if the DC source has large impedance? If this value of inductance is very high, then what to do? Inductor does not allow sudden change in current. So now what will happen? It will provide constant current to the input. It will provide constant current to the input, and here it will provide constant voltage. Here it will provide constant voltage. So for any load at the output, for any load, voltage is fixed. Voltage is fixed means voltage waveform is fixed. Voltage waveform will be same. For any load, voltage waveform will be same. Now in the case of current source inverter, here what will happen? Current waveform will be changed. Current waveform will be same. Current waveform will be same. Clear? If you are having voltage source inverter, then voltage waveform will be same, and if you are having current source inverter, then current waveform will be same. Now there is a question for you. In your home, what kind of inverter are you using? Whether it is voltage source or current source. So what will be your answer? What do you need for your load? For your load, it is needed a constant voltage, a fixed voltage waveform. Fixed voltage waveform. That means if you are getting a pure sinusoidal waveform, so whatever be the kind of load you are applying, you must get the fixed waveform. So at your home you are using voltage source inverters. So if you are using voltage source inverters at your home, then we must study voltage source inverter first. We must study voltage source inverter first. Clear? We must study voltage source inverter first. So now, like rectifiers and other power electronic devices, inverters also need switches. Inverters also need switches, because if you are operating the switches, that means power electronic switches, then only you can control the voltage waveforms of inverter. Clear? So now what kind of switches can be used? First you can use thyristors. Now if you are using thyristors, you know that here the input voltage is DC. If input voltage is DC only, that means nature of supply is not going to support commutation. So now to turn off the thyristor, you will have to arrange additional circuit. That means here you need forced commutation. Clear? Here you need forced commutation. Clear? Second, load commutation is also possible if load is underdamped. If load is RLC underdamped, then load commutation is also possible. Load commutation is also possible. Clear? But the nature of load should be what? Underdamped. Clear? Second you are having GTOs, gate turn off thyristor. What it needs? It requires negative gate pulse to turn off. To turn off. So what kind of commutation can be said? It will be called self commutation. That means you have no need to provide additional commutation circuit if you are using GTO as switch. Next you are having BJT, you are having MOSFET, you are having IGBT. Here what do you know? BJT. If you are controlling the current at base terminal, you can turn on and turn off BJT. If you are controlling the current at gate terminal, then you can turn on or turn off the MOSFET and IGBT. That means it can be turned off. It can be turned off by base current or gate current. Hence these devices are also supporting self commutation. This is the reason mainly MOSFETs, IGBTs are used in the case of inverters. Clear? And you know that MOSFETs, IGBTs, these are having highest switching frequencies. So this is all about the switches. You can use thyristors, you can use GTO, you can use transistors. Clear? Clear? So now let us see the voltage source inverters. Now I am writing voltage source inverters are of three types. That means that depending upon the circuit, there are three different types of circuits of voltage source inverters. VSIs, there are three different circuits. First one is bridge circuit, second one is series inverters, third one is parallel inverters. Clear? So now bridge inverter is the most important part. So first we will discuss bridge inverters. Now in the case of bridge inverters, again there will be two types. First one will be half bridge. Second will be full bridge. Clear? First will be half bridge, second will be full bridge. So there are two types of bridges. Clear? So first let us discuss half bridge inverter. First let us discuss single phase half bridge inverter. single phase half bridge inverter with R load, that means pure resistive load. So I am drawing the circuit of single phase half bridge inverter. You are having the DC voltage source at input, clear? So now what happens, you are having the DC sources like this. This is Vs by 2, this is also Vs by 2, this is the load resistance R, this is the load resistance R. Now you are having the switches like this. You are having the switches like this. This is S1, this is S2. Similarly, you are having anti-parallel diodes. Similarly, you are having anti-parallel diodes. This is D1 and D2. Clear? This is switch S1 and S2. Now switch can be anything, thyristors, IGBTs, MOSFET, GTOs. This can be anything. Clear? And I am drawing the reference direction of output current and output voltage across the load. Output current and output voltage across the load. Clear? Now let us see the operation of this. Let us see the operation of this half bridge converter. So there are two modes. There are two modes. Let us write the mode 1. Mode 1. In mode 1, what happens? Switch S1 is turned on. S1 is on. Clear? You are going to turn on S1. So if switch S1 is turned on, S2 is already turned off. So now what will you see? You will have the circuit like this. You will have the circuit like this. This is Vs by 2. This is current I0. This is plus minus V0. This is the resistance R. The switch is connected like this. Now you will see, sir, you will ask, sir, what are the use of these two diodes? You can see that the supply voltage is fixed. So these two diodes are reverse biased. This diode is reverse biased for this supply voltage. This one is reverse biased for this supply voltage. So now what is the use of these two diodes? Basically, these two diodes are called feedback diodes. D1 and D2 are called feedback diodes. In the case of rectifiers, you see freewheeling diodes. Here you see D1 and D2 are called feedback diodes. So what are the use of feedback diodes? Feedback diodes, their use comes in the case of, you will see the use of feedback diodes if the load is RL load or RLC load. Okay, so there we will discuss the use of feedback diodes. So now what do you get? You are getting the circuit like this. So now what happens? It means output voltage V0 is how much? Output voltage V0 is equal to how much? Minus Vs by 2 plus V0 equal to 0. That means V0 equal to Vs by 2. That means the complete source voltage Vs by 2 is appearing across this resistor R. Clear? Vs by 2 is appearing across this resistor R. Clear? Now mode 2. Mode 2 what happens? S2 is turned on and S1 is off. S2 is on. So now what happens? If S2 is on, if the switch S2 is on, this switch is off, then there won't be any connection of the load through this one. Now what will happen? The lower part of Vs, that means Vs by 2, this will come into effect. This will come into effect. This is Vs by 2. This is R. This is switch S2. Clear? This is R. You know the reference direction of voltage as V0. Current is I0. Clear? So here what did you see? You see that voltage is coming positive. Now what about current? Current is also coming positive, and current I0 is equal to Vs by 2R. Current is also coming, it is also positive. This is Vs by 2R. Clear? Now here what do you see? Minus Vs by 2 minus V0 equal to 0. That means from here what do you see? You get V0 equal to minus Vs by 2. If V0 is minus Vs by 2, it means what? You are getting the reversed voltage across this load. For the inverter, what is required? In the case of inverter, AC voltage is required. So in the first half, that means when S1 is on, you are getting positive voltage across the load. When S2 is on, you are getting negative voltage across the load, and current has also been reversed. Now what about current? What about current? So now what do you see? You see the current. Now current will flow through this one. That means I naught is reversed. I naught is also reversed. So you will write I naught as negative. I naught as negative. Clear? So now what will you do? Now you are going to draw the waveform. You are going to draw the waveform of this half bridge inverter. So let us draw waveform. First I am drawing the waveform of output voltage, then we will draw the waveform of output current. Clear? When S1 is on, what do you get? Output voltage is coming Vs by 2. Vs by 2. Suppose this time is T1. Now what happens? When the S2 is on, you are getting minus Vs by 2. Minus Vs by 2. This time period is T2. This time is T2. Again what happens? After this one, you are going to switch on S1. So you are getting the supply like this. You are getting the supply like this, Vs by 2. Clear? Next, current I naught. Current I naught. If you are drawing the graph of current I naught, what will be the graph of current I naught? You will simply divide the voltage by R. So here you will get the current as Vs by R, Vs by R, Vs by 2R. Now you will get the current minus Vs by 2R. Again you are getting the current Vs by 2R. So what do you get? You are getting alternating voltage and alternating current across the load terminal. You are getting alternating voltage and alternating current across the load terminal. Clear? Clear? So now what you have to write? If this is alternating voltage, then you have to write Kirchhoff's, then you have to write the value of RMS voltage, because its average voltage will be 0. Average voltage will be 0. So now I am writing the value of RMS voltage. So apply the concept of signals and systems. If you apply the concept of signals and systems, what do you see for RMS voltage? You will have to square. So if you are going to square this one, so it will also come in the positive part. Clear? So it will be like treated like a pure DC of value Vs by 2. So VOR will also be equal to Vs by 2. Don't confuse with this expression. I have told you many times VOR will be equal to simply the value of DC voltage in the case of square wave voltage waveform. Clear? Next what do you see? If you are working, if you want to get some AC voltage, so you are expecting some sinusoidal voltage. But what do you get? You are getting a square waveform. It means what? You can say that it contains harmonics. It contains harmonics. Now you will ask, sir, if the inverters which we are using at home, so whether they are providing sinusoidal voltage waveform or they are providing a square voltage waveform. See this time, right now I am teaching you the basics of inverter. So when I will be teaching you multi-level inverter, so there I will show you that how can you change the waveform, that means how can you improve the waveform of output voltage of inverter towards sinusoidal waveform. So what happens? You see that suppose your fan is running when supply is on. Now in the case of power cut, inverter starts supplying your fan. So now what will you see? You will see that some noise in the fan will increase. Why? Because that inverter supply is containing harmonics. So it will have some noise. That's why you are getting some noise in your fan. Whenever you switch on the fan, when it is supplied by inverter, you will see that there is some noise in the fan because inverter is not providing you sinusoidal voltage supply. So nowadays if you are going to purchase an inverter, so there you will see that there is one inverter of Microtech and it is written that Microtech sine wave, its price is a bit more. You need to pay 400 to 500 more amount, but they are writing sine wave clearly. So now what we have to do? You will have to do the harmonic analysis on AC side. Harmonic analysis on AC side of inverter. AC side means what? AC side means load side. Harmonic analysis on AC side of inverter means load side of inverter. So load side of inverters, what you will have to write? You will write the equation V naught N will be equal to sigma N equal to 1, 3, 5 like this up to infinity. In the case of rectifiers, you write 4Is divided by N pi. Here what do you see? Here it is Vs by 2, not Vs. So that's why 4 into Vs by 2, it will become 2 Vs. So here we will write 2 Vs divided by N pi sine N omega t. This is the Fourier series expression for all the square waveforms. Clear? So from here what do you say? Write, if you write n equal to 1, n equal to 1 means what? The fundamental component of RMS voltage, fundamental component of output voltage. So I am directly first will write V naught 1, it will be equal to, put n equal to 1, it is 2 Vs divided by pi sine omega t. Now what we have to write? Somebody is asking you to find the value of fundamental component of RMS output voltage. So RMS values are written by capital V. Instantaneous is always denoted by a small v. So here you will write, it will be equal to how much? This one divided by root 2. That means root 2 Vs divided by pi. Root 2 Vs divided by pi. Clear? RMS voltage is already known to you, that is V naught equal to Vs by 2. So from here if you are writing voltage distortion factor G, so G will be written as V01 divided by V0R. That means fundamental component divided by total RMS. So 2 root 2 Vs divided by pi divided by Vs by 2. From here you will get 2 root 2 divided by pi. 2 root 2 divided by pi. See, this expression is already known to you. In the case of every square waveform, you will get distortion factor equal to 2 root 2 divided by pi. Distortion factor is equal to 2 root 2 divided by pi. So if distortion factor is now known to you, then you write total harmonic distortion, because TST is only the measurement of harmonics present in the system. So TST is equal to how much? Its formula is 1 by G square, 1 upon G square minus 1. So here you write 1 upon G square minus 1. From here you will get 0.4834. That means you are getting 48.34% harmonics. That means if you are using a single phase half bridge source inverter, then you will get 48.3% of harmonics in the waveform. You will get 48.34% of harmonics in the waveform. So this is all about single phase half bridge inverter with resistive load. Clear? So now let us discuss single phase full bridge inverter with resistive load. Let us discuss single phase. Are you enjoying inverter or not? If you are not enjoying inverter, then you should comment that what is the problem. Is there anything which I am not able to explain, or is there anything which I am able to explain but you are not able to understand? So there can be two things, whether I am not able to explain or you are not able to understand, or if you are able to understand, then it is fine. So next, single phase full bridge inverter. So now for single phase full bridge inverter, Single phase full bridge inverter, you will have the supply like Vs. You will have the supply like Vs. Clear? You are having the supply like Vs. Now what will you see? Here you will have to use 4 switches. Here you will have to use 4 switches and 4 diodes. You will have to use 4 switches and 4 diodes. Switches are connected like this. Switches are connected like this. Clear? Switches are connected like this. Clear? Now you have to name the switches. So how will you name? S1, S2, S3 and S4. Somebody will ask you, sir, now can you tell me one thing? Why do you name S1 then S3, S2, S4? Why can't we name S1, S2, S3, S4? We can name anything, but see the reason. See the reason. In the positive cycle, you will see that S1 and S2 will be conducting together, and in the another cycle, you will see S3 and S4 will be conducting together. That's why we are giving the name like this. So here it will be D1, D3, D2, D4, D2, D4. Clear? So this is supply voltage Vs. This is supply voltage Vs. Clear? This is resistance R. This is the resistance R, and this is the, here now what will be the reference direction of current and voltage. You see, when S1 and S2 both will be on, S1 and S2 both will be on, you will see the current will flow like this. That means the reference direction of current will be here from left to right, and the voltage will be plus minus V0. Now your question will be, sir, if I am taking the reference opposite, then is there any problem? There is no problem. There is no problem. You can take in opposite direction also. I don't have any problem. You will again still understand the concept of inverter. You will still understand the concept of inverter. Clear? So now you have to write the working. So how to write the working? Mode 1. You are having 2 modes. Mode 1. In the first mode, S1 and S2 is on. S1 and S2 is on. So see the circuit. When S1 and S2 are on, so you will have the circuit like this. You will have the circuit like this. This is S1 load, S2 load. Clear? Vs R plus minus V0. This is current I0. So now what do you see? Apply Kirchhoff's voltage law. Minus Vs plus V0 equal to 0. That means you are getting Vs is equal to V0 is equal to Vs. V0 equal to Vs, and I0. What do you get? I0. I0 is also coming Vs by R. Vs by R, and both are positive here. Both are positive in the first mode when S1 and S2 are on. When S1 and S2 are on, both are positive. Clear? Now come to mode 2. Now come to mode 2. See, mode 2 what happens? Mode 2, in the case of mode 2, you will see that S3 and S4 will be turned on. S3 and S4 will be turned on. So when S3 and S4 are on, when S3 and S4 are on, so now you will have the circuit like this. You will have the circuit like this. This is Vs, this is R. So now reference direction of voltage is V0. This one current is I0. Now what do you see? Minus Vs minus V0 is equal to 0. From here V0 is coming minus Vs. Similarly, current I0 will become minus Vs by R. That means here you are getting voltage and current both as negative. Voltage and current both as negative. Clear? So in the first mode you are getting positive. In second mode you are getting negative. So now you have to draw. Now we have to draw the waveform. Now we have to draw the waveform. So let us draw the waveform of this particular inverter. This particular inverter. So again in the waveform we will draw two waveforms. First I am drawing the waveform of output voltage. This is the axis omega t, So what do you see? When S1 and S1 S2 are on, you are getting positive, then negative, then positive, then negative, like this. S1 S2 S3 S4, this is S1 S2. Clear? Similarly, if you are writing the current waveform, simply here the voltage will be divided by R. So here we have current waveform. For the current waveform, you will get the waveform like this. Clear? Here it is Vs by R minus Vs by R. Here it is plus Vs by R. So you will have the waveform like this. Clear? So now you got the waveform. Vs, it is minus Vs, it is plus Vs. Now this time, what will be the value of RMS voltage? You write the value of RMS voltage, output voltage, RMS value. So what will be the value? Again, a square waveform, minus will come to in the plus, that means negative pulse. If you are going to square this one, it will come in positive direction. So it will be equal to V or output voltage will be equal to Vs. RMS value of output voltage will be equal to Vs. Clear? Similarly, if somebody is asking you RMS value of current, it will be equal to Vs by R. Clear? Next, harmonic analysis. So now harmonic analysis, what will you see? In the case of half wave, there is only one difference between half wave and full wave waveform. In the case of half wave, you are getting Vs by 2. In the case of full wave, you are getting Vs. So what will be the value of VON? VON will be equal to sigma n equal to 135 up to infinity. Clear? Here it will be 4 Vs by n pi sin n omega t. From here, if you write the RMS value of fundamental waveform, so it will be equal to 2 root 2 Vs divided by pi. Why I am writing 2 root 2? Because here if you put n equal to 1, you will get 4 Vs by pi into sin omega t. So now 4 Vs by pi will be the peak value. If you have to find the RMS value, you will have to divide by root 2. So from here you get V0 1 equal to 2 root 2 Vs by pi. Next, you will have to write distortion factor G. It is equal to V0 1 upon V0 R. So V0 1, it is 2 root 2 Vs divided by pi divided by Vs. So from here you are getting 2 root 2 by pi, which you got the same value in the previous case. And I have already told you, if you are having any waveform, any square waveform like this, then its G will be equal to 2 root 2 by pi. So that means TST will be equal to how much? 1 upon G square under root 1 upon G square minus 1. So here it will also be equal to 48.34%. Here it will be also equal to 48.34%. Write a special note that feedback diodes do not conduct in the case of pure resistive load. In the case of pure resistive load, feedback diodes do not conduct. Clear? So next, let us discuss single phase half bridge inverter with RL load. Let us discuss single phase half bridge inverter with RL load. Let us discuss single phase half bridge inverter with RL load. Half bridge inverter with RL load. So now again you will have to draw the inverter. If you are drawing the inverter will be like this. Now you are having RL. You are having the switches like this. There will be two switches and there will be two feedback diodes. There will be two feedback diodes D1, D2. This is S1, S2, Vs by 2, Vs by 2. If it is conducting through this, then reference direction will be I naught plus minus V naught, plus minus V naught. Clear? Plus minus V naught. Clear? Next, now we have to draw the waveform and see the operation. Come to waveform. See, what do you know? This is voltage source inverter. So output voltage will not be affected. So output voltage will be same. It will be plus Vs by 2 minus Vs by 2. It will be plus Vs by 2. Plus Vs by 2 minus Vs by 2. And here it will be plus Vs by 2. Output voltage is not going to be affected irrespective of any load. Next, output current. Next, you have to draw the waveform for output current. Now, what do you know? If you are having inductive load, then you know that in the case of at a steady state, there will be a phase difference of phi equal to tan inverse omega L by R. Tan inverse omega L by R. That means if voltage is starting from this point, then current will start from here. Suppose the current will start from here. Clear? Current will start from here. Now here the current will start. The current is conducting through which one? Current is conducting through S1. Current is simply conducting through S1. Now what will be the nature of current? The current will increase like this. You know the waveform of current. See the transient analysis. This is the waveform of current. Inductive current will increase like this. If you are having RL circuit and a battery, the current increases like this. Now what will happen? Up to here S1 was on. Up to here S1 was on. Clear? This is mode 1. This is mode 1. Here S1 was on. Clear? Here S1 was on. Now what happens? You are going to turn off S1. You are going to turn off S1. Now what will happen? What do you know? The nature of inductance. Inductance does not allow sudden change in current. Now this inductor will tell that I will continue to conduct through this one only. Clear? So now how can it conduct through this one? This switch is already turned off. This diode will be reverse biased for this one. It cannot conduct through this one. Now what will happen? You can say that, sir, it will forcefully conduct through this one switch. No. Why? Because there is another path for this one. There is another path for this one. This current will conduct through this one. Here the current will be conduct through this one. Mode 2. Mode 2. Diode D2 will be automatically on. It will be conducting. And here how it will conduct? It will conduct like this one. This is diode D2. Current I naught plus minus V naught. This is Vs by 2. This is Vs by 2. It will conduct through like this. It will conduct like this. So it will conduct like this means what? At this time inductor is supplying power to this source. Inductor is supplying power to this source. That means stored energy in the inductor, it is being supplied to the Vs by 2 and resistor R. This inductor is now delivering the power to this resistor R as well as to supply voltage Vs, and current will be decreasing, and there will be a time when current will become 0. So now current will decrease like this, and there is a time when current becomes 0. There is a time when current becomes 0. At this point current has become 0. Now what will happen? That means here up to this period D2 was on. Up to this period D2 was on. Now what will you do? Now once the current becomes 0, now we'll switch on S2. Now we are going to turn on S2. So when S2 will be turned on, so what will happen? S2 will be turned on. The current will start flowing through this one, and the direction of current will be reversed. So direction of current will be reversed means the current will flow like this. current will flow like this, and here S2 is conducting. Clear? S2 is conducting. Clear? Here S2 is conducting. So after S2 it will be again D1. Again the D1 will be conducting. So now here I am writing like this. Up to this D1 was conducting. Up to this D1 was conducting. This is the phase angle of lag phi. I am writing this I1 for RL load. I1 for I0 for RL load. I0 for RL load. Clear? This waveform is clear to you or not? This waveform. Clear? So now suppose you have to write the expression for current. Expression for current, because the voltage is already fixed. Now you have to write the expression for current. So what will be the expression for current? And I am writing in the terms of Fourier series. In the terms of Fourier series. So ION will be written as sigma n equal to 135 up to infinity 2 Vs divided by n pi into, now it will be divided by impedance Zn. Suppose the impedance is Zn. Impedance is Zn. Why I am writing Zn? Because you know that inductance means what? Inductor means what? Inductor has its reactance. It is equal to omega L, and it will be dependent on frequency. So now if you are doing Fourier analysis, so there are multiple frequencies. So for different frequencies the value of inductance will be different. So that's why I am writing Zn. That's why I am writing Zn. So Zn will be equal to how much? Mod Zn at the angle phi n. Mod Zn at the angle phi n. So here it will be Zn n pi into Zn into here it will be written as sin n omega t minus phi n. Now there will be the lag of phi n. There will be the lag of phi n. Clear? So this is about single phase half wave inverter with RL load. Clear? RL load. Now if pure reactive load is taken, pure inductive load is taken. If you are taking a pure inductive load, so if pure inductive load is there, then what will you write? Zn will be written as n omega L. Zn will be written as n omega L. That means ION can be written as sigma n equal to 135 up to infinity. At the numerator it will be 2 Vs. At the denominator n pi into n omega L. N pi into n omega L. And what do you know? It will become sin n omega t minus phi will be how much? Phi will be now 90 degree. If it is inductor, then phi will be 90 degree. So now what do you see? N and n square. That means ION is proportional to 1 upon n square. 1 upon n square, where n is 135 up to so on. That means from here you will get the triangular current. From here you will get, must remember this condition, from here you will get triangular current. From here you will get triangular current. That means if you are having the pure inductive load, then current will be like this. For pure inductive load, the current will be like this. For pure inductive load. For pure inductive load, the current waveform will be like this. Clear? Next, fourth one is single phase full bridge inverter with RL load. Single phase full bridge inverter with RL load. So apply some shortcut. Now you are having full knowledge of inverter. You are having full knowledge of single phase inverter. For full load, what will happen? Full bridge, Vs will be, now Vs by 2 will be Vs, simply Vs. Clear? So now here it will be how much? 4 Vs. It will be 4 Vs here also it will be 4 Vs. So now your problem has been resolved. The waveforms will be same, principle will be same, and here you see that you got the expression for current and voltage. So today I completed single phase half bridge inverter, single phase full bridge inverter with R load and RL load, with R load as well as with RL load, that means inductive load. Clear? You saw that. Let us come to some conclusion. So what you studied today? First you saw that you are having two types of inverter, voltage source inverter and current source inverter. In the case of voltage source inverter, how to design a voltage source inverter? You will design voltage source inverter by putting only few, that means very less value of impedance, a small or negligible impedance at the DC source, so that it will provide constant voltage. So in the case of voltage source inverter, you are getting some fixed waveform of voltage irrespective of any kind of load you are going to apply. Second, you are having current source inverter. How to make current source inverter? If DC source having large impedance, then you will get constant current and it will provide the fixed waveform of current across the load irrespective of any kind of load. So if you are having current source inverter, then you will see that the waveform of voltages will be different for different types of load. Clear? So now next you are having 4 different types of inverter, that means half bridge, full bridge. Then in the half bridge R load, RL load. In the full bridge you are having R load and you are having RL load. So you can see the formula of harmonic analysis, that means the formula of Fourier series. For Fourier series, you know the formula. If a square waveform is given to you, then you write the formula like 4i divided by n pi into sine n omega t. So now what happens? In the case of half bridge inverter, since the voltage available across the peak voltage available across the output is Vs by 2, that's why what happens? Instead of 4 Vs, you write 2 Vs, that means 4 into Vs by 2. But in the case of full bridge inverter, you write 4 Vs by n pi. So by this way you can prepare inverters. It's very simple topic, and every time you will see some questions that will be asked in GATE examination. So if you are preparing for GATE 2022, if you are preparing for semester examination, then this lecture will be very much useful for you. You can always expect a question from this lecture itself. Somehow the questions may be asked from harmonic analysis, because for last 3 to 5 years, every time you will see that they are asking some questions from harmonic analysis of either converters, that is rectifiers, or inverters or choppers. Clear? So this is all about single phase inverter. In the next video lecture, we will discuss 3-phase inverters.